Right guys, got another review for you, and something new that I'm going to review straight away rather than sit and wait 6-12 months. So I've got loads of stuff I still haven't reviewed, but I saw this online the other day, picked it up, just arrived today, so I thought let's get it reviewed and see what I think and show you guys. So for anyone that doesn't know, this is from the Transformers Siege line. This is from the Netflix series. It's coming out soon. And this is, as you see, one of the exclusive ones that they did. Spoilers inside. People that don't know, this is Ultra Magnus. As we get in, we'll go and show you. I believe there's some spoilers around the show and stuff around it. I don't think there's too much. I think it's well, rather than talk about it, shall I just open up and take a look? Yeah, that's a good idea. Right, let's open it up. All right, here we are. So first thing you need to do, there's a bits of sellotape right on each side, and then you lift this bit up here, so that comes off nicely. I don't know if that you could use this for anything, but it seems like you'd use it for holding cards or something, or it might be good for like a little display thing. But anyway, I'm going to pop that off to one side for now, and then all along it, it's got loads of Cybertronian writing and things like that on it. On the front, spoilers inside, and on the back, yeah, same sort of thing. So I guess if you were buying this, you know, in the store, you might not know what actual figure was inside it. It's crazy. So let's pull this out from here. Ooh. Let's hope he's not fragile. No, he's fine. Anyway, this bit is inside the clamshell. So again, I think that's pretty cool. It could be used for a display or something. It's quite nice. So I've got loads of room here, so I'm just trying to move everything around. Right, so I've just got the figure here, so I'm just going to move the camera down just so you can see him a little bit better. So what we've got in here is we've got Ultra Magnus in a new paint deco. I do have the original here, so we will do a bit of a comparison with the two here. And yeah, it comes with blasters, side cannons. He comes with this Target Master or Battle Master, as they're called here, Rung, which is in a different colour, with these two different blast effects in here as well. And he's all held together in there as well. So that looks pretty cool. Looking forward to get him out and take a look at him. I'm quite liking the weathering on him, actually. There is an upgrade set for this. I can't remember who does it, but I may well get that. It just makes him a little bit taller. So I'm just going to pop that down here, just see what else is in here. Most of it's empty. The only other thing is this little container at the top here. Now, I think I know what's inside here, but I'm not going to say too much what it is. So I'm just going to open it up, and hopefully you guys, if it's new to you. Obviously, if you don't want to see which character it is, this is probably not what's in here. This is probably not a review for you. What I might do is on the actual thumbnail image for this, I might actually just put the actual box, just in case people sort of clicking in, you know, they don't, it's not ruined for them that way, because some people might not want to know, or I don't know. But right, let's adjust the camera again. So you get this little tub here, best way to describe it. Feels like it's you're going to open up and you're going to get a jelly, or one of those old-fashioned drinks which you poke the straw through from. Let's open this up. There is a bit of weight to this as well, which I wasn't expecting actually. You'd imagine actually it might be quite quite easy for someone to check this out. Oh, it's got like it's like Play-Doh in here. How do I get this out? Yeah, it's like black Play-Doh. Oh. And in the black Play-Doh is a little bag which has got some Energon cubes. Why have they put it in this black Play-Doh? What's that got to do with this all? That's weird, isn't it? Oh. Yeah, it is proper like black Play-Doh. Right, so I'm going to pop that all in there. Not sure if I should put something over that just to kind of keep that fresh. It doesn't kind of seal back in. Can't imagine you're going to need that for anything else. I'll probably just tip it upside down for the moment and just put it in there. But yeah, you get a bag within here with these Energon cubes in, so you can just open those up. It's weird that it's inside out. I don't quite get the meaning of it, unless that's something to do with the show that maybe finds Energon in some sort of like black tar or something like that. Maybe that's a play feature, I don't know. Anyway, open it up and you get these little Energon cubes. 1 second, may have to go. Yeah, so you've got these 3 Energon cubes, and yeah, they're quite nice, but nothing really to write home about. It'd be nice if you got more than 3. They are quite diddy as well, but they are what they are. And then you get figure himself in his casing. So what we're doing now is we'll release him from his plastic prison, and we'll take a look at the figure. Right, here we are. Got him out of his plastic prison, as we said. And we'll take a quick look at the figure, and then we'll look at his accessories. So I'll go through the figure and then I'll kind of compare him to the original in terms of differences. But yeah, straight off I've noticed obviously these kind of antennas are darker. This is a much almost like a grey plastic that they've used for these. And around the blue here where the blue paint is, they've used some weathering, like a dark grey, and some white weathering on here as well. And this one not so much, so I'm not sure whether he's supposed to be white and then he's been so badly weathered that these bits are dark grey, or which way around. Certainly his fists, you can tell they're white here, and then you've got weathering on here, and it is gradual the way that it goes through, and it's different on each arm as well, which is quite nice. Darker this grey plastic on the inside of the arms, which is different. This red is all painted in here, as is the gunmetal grey. I think this is just blue plastic, but the face is as before. It looks maybe slightly a little bit darker in terms of the greys they've used. Some nice white paint on here, and again the grey plastic and the white paint going up here, which is done nicely. And then on here it's done kind of, no, it isn't done the other way around. It's actually white paint and red paint, and then I think weathering over the top of it. But this top piece is certainly grey plastic, so they've painted over it. So yeah, it's quite a lot of detailing. Again, blue, and you've got this kind of shaded grey going up here as well. Silver on here. Again, these, it's really hard to tell. This is grey plastic, and then it's painted blue, and then weathering over the top. Same on this side as well. But it is ever so slightly different on each side, so it isn't. It doesn't look the same throughout. And underneath you can see the weathering, which we'll get to the other figure as well. All this is red paint, just done nicely. and all this is painted well also. All the articulation is as before, so I'll just run through it quickly, but up and down, all the way around, a little bit of wiggle, arms go all the way around here, out and up, waist articulation, legs on a ratchet, out to the side, swivel here, bend in the knee there, foot articulation is on a tilt here, and you don't get anything forward or back. As in terms of accessories, there's quite a few of them, so I'll just run through them. You get this grey gun, which he can hold in his hands just fine. You get these black guns here, and as far as I can tell, there's no difference to the originals on these. There isn't any paintwork or anything on them, and obviously you can hold them in his hand, but you can also peg them on the side of his legs here on either side. So the way that I do it is I'll just peg them on this bit here on either side. It does bulk out his legs a little bit. So you get these side guns here as well, which again, not much, well, there is a lot of detail in terms of sculpted detail, but not a lot of paintwork on them. But if you've got the other Ultra Magnus, you can always swap bits out if you do want to, which we'll show in a second. And then you get your Battlefield Rung. So just give you a close-up look of this guy, and he's kind of translucent pink with also this pink plastic used throughout the figure, silver and blue paint, which is done very well throughout, and he comes with these blast effects here as well, 2 pink blast effects. I think the other one, the original, came with correct me if I'm wrong, blue blast effects, and you know, he transforms exactly the same way, if I remember. I think these blast effects then just pop on the end here, like that. Then he can hold that in his arm, his hands, like so. So there he is with his blast effects, and then you've got the Energon cubes down below. So that's everything that he comes with. In terms of what he looks like against the original Ultra Magnus, I'll just shifty this guy aside. Obviously scale wise they are exactly the same, but there are some major differences in paint deco. If you look at the two of them side by side, even the blue is slightly darker I think on here, the silver's much darker. Where there's white plastic on here, you've got the dark grey plastic. These, at least you have them painted red, white and red, and these are just dark here. You've got the added paint decos on the hand, which you don't get on here, and this one is quite, you do have quite a lot of weathering on the inside of the arms and on the top of here. They've chosen not to go quite as heavy on some of the weathering and just done it slightly differently. Instead of these kind of marks down the legs here, they've gone for this kind of gradient effect on here, and on the legs here you can see it's very different in terms of how it's done. This is on white plastic where they've got the silver and red and even this piece here painted on, and they've gone for a different effect on here. I think this is really well done. It's not until you get it in hand that you really can tell on here. And again, even slightly different paintwork on here as well. Just seems like a slightly different white that they've used. The grey for the face is slightly darker, as is the grey for the antennas. Grey plastic here versus red plastic here. On the back it's painted red rather than just being red plastic as well. And obviously the feet, again, we notice those differences. The weapons, This one's painted silver, and you don't get anything with that. You can obviously swap these bits out, so if you wanted to, you could pop these on your other Ultra Magnus and do it that way, so you've got a bit of a mix of the two, which I may well do. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to display these two. It may be that I have one in vehicle mode, one in robot mode, or maybe have one in the kind of white Optimus inside the other. I'm really not sure at the moment, but yeah, I think they both look really good alongside each other, and there's definitely enough difference between the two to, you know, maybe warrant going out and getting a second one if you so wish. Obviously, if you're happy with the first one, there's no need to, but this one does come with these extra bits, and this is the only place that you'll be able to get the Energon cubes, and these here is part of the exclusive. Anyway, that's that. Take a look at the back of them as well. You can see a bit of a darker red on this one here. What we'll do now, sorry, just turned off the phone by mistake, well, the recording button anyway. What we'll do now is we'll get them transformed, and we'll take a look at this guy in his vehicle mode. Or actually what we'll do is we'll take a look at the inner robot first, and then we'll go over to vehicle mode. Right, here we are. We've got him in his kind of inner robot mode. I've got to adjust the brightness slightly, just bring it down a little bit, just because of how white this guy is. But again, I like what they've done with him, and that the weathering is done in different places. If I just get his hand out here, it's kind of, all of this is kind of grey plastic, and they've painted over it white, and it's a real kind of glossy feel to it. And again, it's kind of got that gradient look to it. Again, at the top here, they've kind of done part of his arm coloured, and the same on these bits here. The fists, they've gone again with the same thing on the fists. You've got a slightly different match with the dark grey and the silver there, so that does look a little bit odd. The face is a real bright white with this, you know, slightly darker blue and a red for the eyes, and blue in here, which is done nice. They've just left this grey in this kind of darker colour here, so they haven't done anything with that. And again, this is the weathering that we've seen with the legs. This is white plastic here, and then with the dark weathering on here. So again, done slightly different than the original, which we'll take a look at here. And there's the view from the back. So you can hold any of the guns in his hand here. Got him holding this one here, and also this one here. But he could actually have that on his shoulder if you wanted to do that. So that is something that you could do, or in the other mode. So you do have the option to do that. If I pop it in his hand here, and obviously you can pop that on the side there as well. Yeah, I'm really torn as to how I'm going to display this guy, but yeah, very cool looking figure, that's for sure. And then if you bring in the other one, you can see there's quite a difference in kind of looks here. The sculpt is the same, but the colouring is very different. I'm not sure what I prefer. There's bits and pieces that I prefer from each. I like the little yellow taillights in here, and all the paint on here, and the detailing that's underneath here. With this one, you get just kind of see-through translucent plastic, so I do prefer that. But then this guy's got a lot more detail, and he kind of pops out a little bit more because you've got that a really different kind of variance between the two colours, where it's really dark and then really white as well. He does really kind of stand out. So at the moment, I'm not really sure how I'm going to be displaying these two figures. Obviously, whichever way round you do it, if you do have this guy on here, you could potentially put this guy in the other Magnus. You know, if you do have both of them, you do have the option to swap them out. The purpose of this review really is to, if you haven't got this guy, see if you do want him, if you've already got him, or if you're kind of make a decision which one to buy, that you can kind of see them side by side just to help you try and make that decision. But there you are, they're both in their robot modes. Articulation is exactly the same, but I will kind of run through it real quick. The arms go all the way around, blast effects off. This bit comes out here, swivels. Let's take this off. Up to there. Head goes all the way around, down, up, and a little bit to the side. You do get waist articulation in there, which goes all the way around. You can do a high kick up, which is ratcheted, and back to there, where you get stopped by these pieces here, and then out to the side, that same swivel, and the bend in the knee, which gets you there. This time you do have a little bit of articulation at the back, and then another rocker on there as well. And that is that. Next up, we'll take a look at the vehicle mode. I'm kind of skipping through transformations on these just because there's quite a lot to show you of the two figures, and I think everyone's kind of familiar with it anyway. Okay, right then, let's take a look at the vehicle mode. Right, here we are, we've got him in his vehicle mode, and you can see the weathering kind of carries on throughout. We've got this dark grey going along here. I think it looks really good. The wheels are all painted as well. Just a shame that there isn't the kind of added paint in here on these kind of accessories. There isn't any paint in those, whereas there is on the other one. And the view from up top, you see that weathering continues throughout. On the back, I think it looks pretty good, and you can even kind of store your little Energon cubes on the back there. So he's taking those, and if you want to have rung into it as well, you can potentially pop them on the back here. You can move your Energon cubes out of the way. You could have him on the back there as well. And there's even kind of like a, instead of like a gun, it could be like a bit of a booster. There, or he could be zapping bad guys, up to you. But you can do that. It looks as if he's got flames coming out the back. And then if you take a look at the kind of original version, you can see there's quite a big difference in the kind of paint apps and the plastics that are used on here. You can swap these around as you like. There's the silver paint that I mentioned in there. In the instructions, the actual setup that I have for this, actually just around the other way, is they just have these bigger guns at the front, like this. And the smaller ones at the back. They don't actually show a configuration for Battlefield Rung on this one, but as showed, you can kind of store the Energon and everything else, and you can kind of be part of the action, or you can have him in robot mode here, just transform him back, so you can have him riding on the top. Like that. Anyway, that's pretty much everything that I want to show you guys. It's a recommend from me, but I just want to show you the two figures side by side so you can make your own decision. I'll pop a load of pictures and stuff on Facebook and Instagram so you can take a look at them over there as well. Anyway, thanks for watching guys. Stay safe. Bye bye.